ever wonder how the universe came into existence? The Big Bang is one of the most awe inspiring concepts in science. It is the story of how our entire universe came into being from a single point. Imagine the entire cosmos, all the stars, planets, galaxies, and everything we see and know, compressed into a small space which was smaller than an atom. This is where the story begins. The birth of the universe. About 13.8 billion years ago, the universe was born from an event we now call as the Big Bang. But don't be misled, this wasn't an explosion in the space. There was no space or time before the Big Bang. It was the rapid expansion of space itself, and with it, time and matter were born. At the moment of the Big Bang, the universe was unimaginably hot and dense. Temperatures reached over a billion trillion degrees, hotter than anything we can ever imagine today. Atoms, the building blocks of everything we know, could not yet form because the conditions were too extreme. It was pure energy at this point, and everything was moving at speeds near the speed of light. The first seconds, when the universe changed. In the first fraction of a second, the universe underwent a period of inflation. This means that space expanded faster than the speed of light, growing from the size of subatomic particle to something much larger, almost instantaneously. Imagine blowing up a balloon, but instead of taking a few seconds, it goes from microscopic to gigantic faster than the blink of an eye. As things cool down slightly, which was still hotter than any star, particles like protons and neutrons formed, and within the first few minutes, they started coming together to form the nuclei of simple atoms like hydrogen and helium. This is known as nucleosynthesis. The first light after 380,000 years. For hundreds of thousands of years, the universe was a hot, dense soup of particles and radiation. But eventually, it cooled enough for electrons to join with nuclei to form neutral atoms, a process called recombination. This allowed light to travel freely through space for the first time, and the universe became transparent. The first light is what we now detect as cosmic microwave background, a faint glow that fills the entire universe and acts as a snapshot of the universe just 380,000 years before the Big Bang. It's one of the strongest pieces of evidence that we have of the Big Bang happening. The formation of galaxies and stars. With space continuing to expand, gravity took over, pulling together clumps of gas into the first stars and galaxies. These first stars were massive and short-lived, burning out in spectacular explosions known as supernova. These explosions spread heavier elements like carbon, oxygen, and iron throughout space, elements that would eventually make up planets and much later, life. Galaxies began to form, and inside them, stars grouped together, orbiting around massive black holes at their centers. Over billions of years, these galaxies collided and merged, leading to the vast structures we see today. Where are we now? Today, the universe is still expanding, and galaxies are moving away from each other. This was first discovered by Edwin Hubble in 1929 when he noticed that galaxies farther away from us were moving faster, suggesting that the universe was getting bigger. The universe is also accelerating in its expansion due to a mysterious force we call as dark energy. We don't fully understand what dark energy is, but it makes up about 70% of the universe. As far as we know, the universe will keep expanding. Some scientists think it might expand forever, with galaxies getting farther and farther apart until the universe becomes a cold, dark place, a scenario called the Big Freeze. Others speculate that the universe might eventually collapse back in on itself in a big crunch. There's even a theory of a big rip where space itself gets torn apart. Why should we care about the Big Bang? Well, it's the origin story of everything, including us. The hydrogen in your water, the calcium in our bones, and the oxygen we breathe were all forged in stars billions of years ago, scattered across the universe and brought together by gravity to form planets, including Earth. So, in a very real sense, we are made of stardust, the remnants of Big Bang. In conclusion, the Big Bang Theory not only explains the origin of the universe but also connects us to the cosmos in a very profound way. We are part of a vast, ever expanding universe, and our journey started 13.8 billion years ago from a tiny, dense point. Every atom in our bodies has been on an epic journey since that moment, and by studying the Big Bang, we uncover the universe's past, present, and future. And that's what makes the Big Bang not just a scientific theory, but a breathtaking tale of cosmic origins. Thank you so much for listening.